Welcome back to the channel. This year has been an obvious start of a new era in the NBA. A little sad, perhaps, for fans who have followed many of these players for so many years. But as everything that begins, it must come to an end eventually. Let's get into it. In the modern era, we've seen Magic and Bird, we've seen Michael Jordan, we've seen Shaq and Kobe, we've also seen LeBron James leading the way alongside Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. We've even seen younger superstars like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic. But now the 2023-2024 NBA season and playoffs have shined a light on new faces of the league for the next years to come. No one can forget when LeBron was drafted by the Cavaliers right out of high school in 2003 and became a superstar at a very young age. He won his first 2 rings with the Miami Heat and then 2 more with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Los Angeles Lakers. At 39 years old, he's still one of the best players in the league. Or how Curry, the superstar point guard of the Golden State Warriors, burst into the scene in 2015 after dealing with multiple injuries during his early years in the league. Curry led his team to 4 NBA titles in 8 years. With his tremendous scoring talent and ability to knock down three-pointers, he became one of the most dominant players of the decade. Last but not least, there's Kevin Durant, now a forward for the Phoenix Suns. Durant made a name for himself with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And after winning 2 rings with the Warriors, he solidified himself as one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. With these 3 superstars having displayed excellence for so many years and leaving fans with endless memories, it's hard to believe that their time in the league may soon be coming to an end. Let's talk about it. In the past few seasons, we've been introduced to some amazing talents that are expected to lead the new generation. Youngsters all under the age of 27 are tearing it up, and by now, you probably are already familiar with some of their names. Let's start with perhaps the most promising star of them all, Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves, who has proven to be a prodigy on both the defensive and offensive ends of the floor, with impressive plays including steals, blocks, and dunks. He completed the 2023-2024 season with an average of 25.9 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game, and established himself as the key piece for his team. There's Tyrese Halliburton, the floor general of the Indiana Pacers. Halliburton led the NBA in assists with 10.9 assists per game. He also managed to chip in on the scoring end with 20.1 points, leading his team to 6th place in the Eastern Conference. Halliburton earned a spot on the final roster of the USA basketball team for the 2024 Olympic Games. There's first-time All-Star Tyrese Maxey, who has taken major steps since the departure of James Harden from the 76ers. Maxey has made waves with his ability to create plays and come up big in the clutch, no pun intended. He completed the regular season with a stat line of 25.9 points and dished out 6.2 assists per game, proving his value alongside star big man Joel Embiid. Maxey showed flashes of brilliance in the playoffs, including a terrific 46-point performance against the New York Knicks that earned him a middle finger from Tracy Morgan and left Ben Stiller with a distraught look on his face. Hilarious. There are many other young up-and-coming players such as Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets. There's LaMelo Ball in Charlotte, Paolo Banchero in Orlando, even Cade Cunningham playing for a struggling Pistons squad in Detroit. And of course, this year's Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. While some of these young players just began making names for themselves in the NBA over the past 2 to 3 seasons. 2 guys that have consistently been in the conversation, but we have yet to mention, are Dallas Mavericks superstar Luka Doncic and Boston Celtics top scorer Jason Tatum. After coming off an NBA Finals headlined by these 2, it's crazy to even mention them last. Tatum finished the regular season with a stat line of 26.9 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game, leading his team to a league-best 64-18 record for the season. Doncic, on the other hand, continued to display an uncommon dominance for such a young player. He concluded the season averaging a league-best 33.9 points, 9.2 rebounds, and finishing second with 9.8 assists per game. In a 148-143 win against the Atlanta Hawks, he exploded for a franchise record 73 points, tying him for 4th most all-time in a single game. Since his very first dribble in the NBA, Doncic has steadily separated himself from the pack. But while Tatum, 26, and Doncic, 25, are also part of the conversation, being that they are both still pretty young themselves, to most NBA fans, they are viewed as more established franchise players compared to the names we decided to focus on today. As mentioned earlier, if there is a player that has made it an objective to prove that he's the real deal and is determined to take the throne from older stars like LeBron. It is Anthony Edwards. The Minnesota Timberwolves All-Star guard has garnered a lot of attention due to not just his performance on the court, but also his charismatic persona off of it. This combination has fans around the world gravitating towards him. In several interviews, Ant-Man's natural easygoing personality has shined through the cameras. His game, demeanor, and leadership have also drawn comparisons to the likes of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. While current international superstars like Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid have been racking up MVP awards over the last 6 years, the conversation around the next American-born superstar player has also increased, with many searching for an answer to who will be the next big American-born superstar player. This season, Anthony Edwards has shown that he might indeed be the one. After leading his team past a Kevin Durant-led Phoenix Suns, many new eyes began to pay attention. With a resemblance to Michael Jordan, it's been difficult for fans to ignore the similarities. Many have even suggested that Jordan might be Ant-Man's father in a joking manner. So, what would it take for Anthony Edwards to prove that he's the new face of the NBA? Simple. Time, consistency, and most importantly, winning. At the rate he's going, he will have plenty of opportunities to earn this title, especially after now having swept his favorite player Kevin Durant in the playoffs and eliminating the favorites Denver Nuggets and 3-time league MVP Nikola Jokic. Plus, with the Olympic Games around the corner, this will only provide more opportunities to continue to grow his brand globally. In a November 12th performance against the Golden State Warriors, he went off for 51 points, leaving fans and critics speechless. He also showed his ability to impact the game in a variety of ways, reaching a high of 12 assists against the Houston Rockets and 14 rebounds against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Speaking of the Thunder, we can't discuss superstar players for years to come and not bring up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Canadian All-Star guard had a phenomenal 2023-2024 season, with many people including Shaquille O'Neal believing that he deserved to be this year's most valuable player, an award won by Denver's Nikola Jokic. SGA led the Thunder to a 57-25 record and the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, while averaging 30.1 points and turning in a franchise record 51 games with 30-plus points. The 26-year-old became the first player since 1967 to average 30-plus points per game on the West's top seed and not win MVP. He led his team to the second round of the playoffs, where they were eliminated by the Dallas Mavericks in 6 games. Since we're in Dallas, let's take this chance to talk about one of their former players, Jalen Brunson. Brunson has not only raised his status since joining the New York Knicks, but has also proved many of his doubters wrong. Brunson has looked unstoppable, no matter what defenses throw at him, especially in the clutch. Brunson had an impressive regular season in which he made his first All-Star appearance and led his team with 28.7 points per game, good enough for 4th in the entire league. He also added 6.7 assists to go along with that. Brunson joined Jerry West, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James as the only players in NBA history to record 5-plus games with 40-plus points and 5-plus assists in a single postseason, and has continued to prove that he can be the main guy for the New York Knicks for years to come. One name we briefly mentioned earlier that's expected to be a force for many years is none other than French phenom Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs star showed tremendous potential and growth during his rookie season in San Antonio. Standing at a remarkable 7 feet 4 inches, tied for tallest active NBA players with Boban Marjanovic, Wemby proved why so much hype followed him prior to him ever playing 1 minute in the NBA. Freak. But Wemby has been dominating for a while now. In 2019, he joined Nanterre 92 of the LNB Pro A to start his professional career. He went to Asvel 2 years later, when in his one and only season, he won the Pro A title. Following that, he joined the Metropolitans 92 for the 2022-2023 season, and he led the entire league in scoring, rebounds, and blocks, becoming the youngest player to ever win the Pro A MVP award. But that's not all. He also earned Pro A Best Defender honors and was selected unanimously as an LNB All-Star twice, took home the MVP award for the All-Star game once, and won the Pro A Best Young Player award 3 times. This is all before ever stepping foot on an NBA floor, ladies and gentlemen. In his first year in San Antonio, the rookie pulled off 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, and led the NBA with 3.6 blocks per game, in a win against the Raptors, snapping a 7-game losing streak. The French star notched a triple-double with a career-high 10 blocks. Following this historic rookie season in the NBA, Wembanyama was unanimously named the 2024 NBA Rookie of the Year and finished second in the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year's voting to compatriot Rudy Gobert. When asked during the season about potentially winning the award, Wemby replied, "I know that Rudy has a very good chance of winning it this year, and it would be deserved. Let him win it now, because after that, it's no longer his turn." Super confident. So clearly this has been an interesting year for basketball, and with older guys like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron James in the final stages of their illustrious careers, it's safe to say they are leaving the league in good hands. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this.